Suppose you are dropping a ball under gravity with zero initial velocity. What will be the velocity of the ball after 10 seconds? It is quite easy to calculate using following equation of motion. In our case, the initial velocity u equals 0 meters per second, gravitational constant g equals 9.8 meters per second square, and t equals 10 seconds. Putting these values in this equation, we get v equals 98 meters per second. Here we have used a logical formula derived from Newton's law. Now think another way. Let's repeat the same experiment, but this time we are not going to use this equation. We will use a speed sensor to measure the velocity of the ball. This table shows the velocities at different time instants. Let's use the regression formula this time to predict the velocity at a given time instant. These are the regression constants a and b, considering time as x and velocity as y. These are the values of the regression constants a and b. Now using the regression formula, let's compute the velocity at t equals 105 seconds. Putting the values in this equation, we get the final velocity at t equals 105 seconds as 1029.6792 meters per second. Now using the equation of motion, we get the final velocity as 1029 meters per second. These values are very close to each other. In the second method, we have applied statistical approach to find the velocity of the ball. We don't know any logical relation between velocity and time, but using experimental data, we have guessed some constants. It's like a black box taking some input, constants, and spitting the output. Don't you think these techniques may conclude with some strange results? For example, people who wear red shirt are most likely to be affected by COVID-19. If you collect data containing shirt color and COVID infection, are these techniques not reliable? In many cases where there are too many factors responsible and their relationship is too complex, these are the life-saving techniques. When you toss a coin, the responsible factors for the outcome are force applied by the thumb, flight time of the coin, wind speed, coin's material distribution, the direction of the throw, and many more. It's very hard to point out all the factors responsible for the outcome. Is it possible to take all the factors and their relationships into consideration? No. Rather, we use a simple outcome-based technique, that is relative frequency of a favorable versus total set of outcomes. That is the probability.